Coming up tonight on YCN News, Rattleboro voters reject the fiscal year 2015 municipal budget. A grassroots effort by the Putney Mountain Association is underway to save a large parcel of land from development. And a community-wide event this Saturday in Claremont aims to bring attention and hope to victims of domestic violence and abuse everywhere. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. It will be back to the drawing board for Brattleboro town leaders now that voters rejected the fiscal year 2015 municipal budget during a special election last week. Voters defeated by more than a 2-to-1 margin the proposed $16 million budget, 771 votes against to 478 votes in favor, the Rattleboro Reformer reports. A petition to take another look at the budget, which included spending for a new public safety building, spurred the path for a second vote. Only this time, more people turned out to vote against the proposed budget than had earlier voted during the annual March town meeting day vote. Now, the process starts anew. The town select board will need to begin budget discussions again and craft a new budget. This second budget will be reviewed with town meeting representatives who will meet later this spring in a special representative town meeting. Select Board Chairman David Gardenstein told the Reformer last week's voting results shows voters do not agree with the amount of additional taxes they would need to pay under the earlier proposed budget. The proposed $16 million budget would have raised the tax rate by about 8.5 cents per $100 property valuation. One capital project planned for the town involves a $14.1 million police and fire station renovation project. The Reformer says the town has until June 13th to see if it will seek a $9 million bond to make the renovation project possible. 3 buildings will be renovated in all as part of the public safety building project. $5 million already has been secured by the town. About $1 million in payments from taxes is part of the budget that was defeated. Yet town meeting representatives who vote for the town as a whole have already approved the project. Plus, the select board has the authority to go ahead with the renovation schedule and plan. A grassroots effort by the Putney Mountain Association is underway to save a large parcel of land from development. The group needs several $100,000 to keep the area free from commercial growth. In all, a bit over $400,000 is needed, the Brattleboro Reformer notes. The association is not alone in its quest. The Vermont Housing Conservation Board earlier gave the group $200,000 to start a fundraising campaign. The end is in sight. About $67,000 is needed. The family that owns the land told the association they want this 144 acres of land preserved. The 144 acres lie between 2 land parcels already protected from development. Specifically, the parcel the group wants to purchase is known as the Hannum O'Connor land. It forms the center of the Putney Mountain Trail along with the Silvio Conti National Fish and Wildlife Refuge and the association's Dine property. Working with the Putney Mountain Association to buy and preserve the 144 acres is the Windmill Hill Pinnacle Association. Both groups have until July 10th to buy the land or it will be put on the market for sale. This is why the 2 groups are asking for help. To learn more, go to putneymountain.org.
If you have an orthopedic issue, turn to Dr. James M. Murphy, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon at New London Hospital. Working in collaboration with Concord Orthopedics, Dr. Murphy evaluates and treats hand, elbow, shoulder, knee, hip, and ankle fractures and pediatric injuries. New London Hospital is in your neighborhood, providing primary and specialized services in its state-of-the-art facility. To learn about our services and our compassionate doctors, visit newlondonhospital.org. New London Hospital, your prescription for living well.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. It's been said that there are worse things than being alone. Being in a physically abusive relationship is one of those, or any kind of relationship where emotional abuse occurs. A community-wide event this Saturday in Claremont aims to bring attention and hope to victims of domestic violence and abuse everywhere. So it is fitting that the Turning Point Network's guiding mission is free to soar above the limitations put upon women or men who find themselves in an unhealthy partnership. Preventing violence, promoting respect, strengthening lives, these three messages form the mission of Turning Point's network. Since 1977, this Sullivan County nonprofit agency has worked to end abuse, create a community of support, and promote social change through outreach and advocacy. Saturday is a key fundraiser for the agency, which once was known as Women's Supportive Services. Steppin' Up to End Violence is the name of this weekend's event, an event featuring a walk and short, fun run. All activities begin and end at the Claremont Middle School on South Street. Same-day registration begins at the school at 8:45 a.m. A rally to pump up participators' spirits is set for an hour later at 9:45 a.m. The walk or fun run begins at 10 a.m. To learn more about taking part in the day's events, call 603-543-0155 or email questions to info@free-to-soar.org. To lend a financial hand to Turning Point's network, checks may be made out to TPN or Turning Point's network. In other New Hampshire news, as the season for all things outdoors heats up, there will be a change this year at the Newport Farmers Market. Vendors selling all manner of goods at the downtown market in Newport will be charged a weekly fee of $1, the Eagle Times reports. The fee will not apply to fruit and vegetable sellers whose customers pay with tokens as part of the Electronic Benefits Transfer, or EBT, program. Tokens are accepted only for these fresh food items, the newspaper notes. Newport selectmen approved the fee schedule Monday night. Money raised from fees to farmers market sales will go toward rental of the town common. For groups not part of the farmers market, elected town officials say the rental fee will remain $150. Fees from vendors at the farmers market will be about 25 to 30% of what the other groups and associations pay.
Hello, I'm Father Andrew, and this is my granddaughter Nika. We would like to invite you to Holy Resurrection Orthodox Church in Claremont. Please visit and celebrate with us the heavenly beauty and wisdom of Jesus Christ. Sing and listen with us to the authentic and most precious hymns of Christian prayer, and enjoy the hospitality of our community at coffee hour. Please come. We'd like to see you.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tomorrow we're expecting some rain showers with highs in the 50s and a low of 32 degrees. Thursday we should get a break from the rain with a high of 55 degrees and lows in the 30s. Friday and Saturday will bring more rain showers with highs in the 60s and lows in the 30s. Sunday will be partly cloudy with highs in the 50s and a low of 33 degrees. Here's a glimpse of the weather from our northeastern and national radar maps. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow in Grantham, New Hampshire, the Board of Selectmen will meet at 5 p.m. In Danbury, New Hampshire, the Selectmen's meeting will be held at 6 p.m. In Vermont, the Norwich Select Board will meet at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. And now it's time to transition over to high school sports. Monday was a picture-perfect day for softball as the 1-1 Windsor Yellow Jackets traveled across the Connecticut River to Claremont to take on the 1-0 Stevens Cardinals. Stevens senior Tori Maslin was on the mound facing freshman Brooke Hurd for Windsor. It was a scoreless game until the bottom of the third when Alexis Melcher drives the pitch deep into the gap in left center field. The speedy senior center fielder raced across the bases and scored the inside the park home run, standing up to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the fifth, Jenny DeShane hits the opposite field shot to get onto base. The senior would score later to put Stevens up 2-0. Later in the fifth inning, pitcher Tori Maslin helps her cause with this RBI single just past the glove of the shortstop, Haley Wood. Abby Duford scores on the hit to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. In the top of the sixth, Ashley Wilcox gets one of the runs back for Windsor with this opposite field gap shot. The cutoff throw gets away and allows the freshman third baseman to score, standing up to cut the lead 3-1. Things get very interesting in the top of the seventh as Brooke Hurd doubles in sophomore Nelia Thompson to cut the Stevens lead 3-2 in the final inning. But with the tying run at third base, Stevens pitcher Tori Maslin gets Aaron Wiersbicki to line out to shortstop Alexis Melcher to end a very exciting high school softball game. Stevens, behind Maslin's 7 strikeouts, improves to 2-0 on the season and will travel to Canaan, New Hampshire to take on Mascoma on Wednesday. Windsor drops to 1-2 and will play Otter Valley today. Now let's look ahead to some upcoming high school games. In baseball, the Lebanon boys will take on John Stark Regional High School Wednesday in Lebanon. The first pitch is at 4 p.m. Also tomorrow, Newport High School will host a basketball game against Fall Mountain School starting at 4 p.m. Another 4 p.m. baseball game tomorrow will see Stevens High School compete with Mascoma High School. This game is set to take place at Mascoma. The Sunapee baseball team will travel tomorrow to take on Wilton Lynborough at 4 p.m. at the Wilton Lynborough School.